myself, I like Arkansas 7-1 to win their conference tournament. Now, 4 teams have obviously had outstanding seasons: Auburn, Kentucky, Tennessee, and this Arkansas team. Now, all of them will get a double bye, so that's days off, extra rest before their first game. All of them have beaten each other up this season at their home arenas, so they're all rated pretty evenly. And yet, despite their being rated pretty evenly throughout the year, Arkansas has the longest price by far, 7-1, way longer than the others. For that reason, Arkansas 7-1, my pick to win their conference tournament.
That's it for this Bet Rivers Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by Bet Rivers Sportsbook, Detroit's hometown sportsbook. Check out the latest lines today at BetRivers.com. I'm Nick Costos. Keep it locked here for more throughout the day. Must be 21, playable in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
It's Tango Day, everybody. Follow after me and step and back and fly and dip. That's Tango.
This iced tea, you know, Tango sauce. It's probably the heart-shaped Honey Nut Cheerios. He found out thinking of lowering cholesterol. Now he's having fun taking care of his heart in all sorts of new ways.
Let's see those hips move, people.
Hurry and get your heart-shaped Cheerios. They're only here for a limited time. Welcome to Allstate, where we bring it all together. And bundling your home and auto is good, right? And it saves you up to 25%. It all comes together. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today. Bundle savings discounts at very Allstate. Saving up to 25% is a countrywide average savings on the home policy. Combining the multiple policy discount by having auto insurance with Allstate and the welcome discount savings and enrollment.
Votes are back at the Progressive Novi Boat Show. The most boats you'll find in one location anywhere this season. There's a boat for your adventures and budget. Cruisers, ski boats, pontoons, fishing boats, plus accessories and gear. Find your first boat for your next. Go nuts over Joyton Water Ski and Squirrel. March 10th through 13th, Suburban Collection Showplace. Tickets and details at noviboatshow.net. Planet Fitness, home of the judgment-free zone, is the official fitness partner of 97.1 The Ticket.
The Players' Championship is back with one of the best fields in golf, and now you can take a shot at the Island Green with FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, new customers can get 30-1 odds on defending champ Justin Thomas, two-time major winner Colin Morikawa, or Olympic gold medalist Xander Schauffele to make the cut at the Players. That's right, if any of those players make the cut at TPC Sawgrass, you win $150 on a $5 bet. There's no better time to get in on the action with FanDuel Sportsbook. So, step up to the tee and take a swing at betting the Players' Championship. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app using promo code DOUGH to get 31 odds on JT, Morikawa, Schauffele, and make the cut at the Players. Sign up with promo code DOUGH so they know that we sent you. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official betting operator of the PGA Tour. Must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. New users only. Must wager in designated offer market. Maximum bet $5. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com and 1-800-270-7117. Confidential help. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official partner of 97.
This hour of Instant Feedback brought to you by Michael Carroll National Benefit Claims. Call 877-734-2200.
Ticket using the same number you used to call the ticket. Ticket text 21539-9797. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Tony and Jensen.
7-1 The Ticket. There's the Stoney and Jansen program, 248-539-9797. One of the other rule changes that have been proposed in the baseball talks is increasing the base size of 3 inches.
Yeah, from 15 to 18.
We know how important 3 inches is to a lot of things, but maybe I'm just ignorant. Yeah, I'm ignorant. What does 3 inches do to a base mean? Is that, what does the 3-inch larger base do?
I believe it's player safety. In regards to, and I was just reading an article at the break, and it was infielders are pro bigger bases because if you're turning a double play, you have more of a base to get a foot on, and you're not much as the pitch clock. I think the pitch clock for the players, there's a lot of players that don't want it.
Well, you know what? You know why they don't want it? Because they're playing the game. They don't watch it.
Right. I agree, but to me, this is no different than at the point where you put the shot clock in baseball, you put the play clock in football. You have different timed events so that you keep the pace of play.
Right.
Whether it's the rhythm of the game, whether it's for viewing the game, like that's part of the equation. You can't take the fan, like as a player, you can't just take out the enjoyment of the fan watching the game because you're getting a chance to play the game and get paid a lot of money because people are watching it.
Exactly. Correct. And when we talk about pitch, maybe because it's called the pitch clock, we seem to focus so much on the pitchers. For me, it's more the batters, if not as much. So as they stand at it, the batters, there should just be a rule. You can't leave the batters. And you can't read the game. Velcro batting. Once it's on, it's on. I mean, they sit there. You know, I think it's more of that nerve, you know, like a pitcher or something like that.
I think guys do it to buy themselves some time as they, whether it's they're processing, or they're trying to make the pitcher wait, or whatever it is that they're doing. They're taking they're trying to read the signal from the third base coach. Whatever the reason is, I think there's a lot of ways, whether it's the batter or the pitcher, where you could speed up that process. And if you're going to take off, let's just say 20 minutes of a baseball game, what's the average baseball game right now in Major Leagues? It's like 3:15?
Something like that, I
Yeah,
believe.
somewhere. But if you were to get it closer to 3 hours, like, okay,
It's a TV window a lot
it's
better.
a TV window much better, and that has to be taken into account.
There definitely is an advantage, I mean, for the pitchers here in terms of working fast. I believe
The pitchers are the ones that don't want it.
I think they actually will like it once they get used
Right.
to it. There's something to be said about a hitter getting collected. Like, I know pitchers have to get collected too, but I have actually witnessed this at way lesser levels of baseball. When pitchers work fast, it puts a stress on the hitter big time.
I don't disagree with that at all, but the major objection you're hearing is from the pitchers, not from the batters. And I originally thought this as well, like, okay, if this is going to be the situation, and the pitchers have to throw the ball within 14 seconds, or 19 seconds if there's somebody on base, what's the requirement for the batter? Like, when does that pitch clock start? When the batter is in the batter's box? When the pitcher actually gets the ball?
I think when the pitcher gets the ball,
And so if the batter is,
batter
got a
might be
1 foot,
limited on when they can call time or how much. Maybe they can call time one time per at bat.
I mean, all those things, they have not detailed in this rule proposal, at least from what we've seen. Because I think those are major questions. Whether it's the batter being rushed to get back in the box and actually focus on the pitcher, or if it's the pitcher, how much does this affect the pitcher now that, okay, they're 19 seconds on base, and if runners are on base, you've got runners on first and third. The pitcher's already going through, okay, he's got to go through the stretch, he's got to be looking at first base, he's looking at second. Is this going to increase stolen bases?
Hopefully that's exciting. Stolen base is an exciting play.
I think in the end, pitchers will initially hate it more, then pitchers will get used to it, and batters will actually hate it more. And then I think batters will adapt, and what will probably be the result is more foul balls. Because these are professional hitters who can still make contact pretty easy if they want to. I mean, it's the whole Yankee and Red Sox philosophy of getting, deep in pitch counts to eventually see the pitch they want. Versus the Tigers, they've always been sort of the, quote, softball team or whatever.
Right.
So I think that I think the end result, if they were to put this and make it strict, that you would ultimately see just more foul balls, and I don't know if it would shorten the game.
That would, I think it's still worth a shot. By the way, did you hear about Max Scherzer's idea for the playoffs? There's a debating expanding the playoffs,
Right.
12 or 14 teams. Max Scherzer, what do pretty smart guy, right? He favors a reworking the playoffs, kind of radical, where the higher seed in the first round would start the best of 5 series with a 1-0 lead. So they have you have a ghost. It's called like a ghost victory, basically. So because your advantage after the play-in is you have a 1-0 lead. So on a best of 5,
You start every game with a 1-0 lead,
No,
or just
no.
the first game?
the series.
Oh, you start the series
Yes.
with a game lead.
Yes.
So it's in essence a 4-game series,
Yeah,
but
but-
you've already played one.
That's the way this was.
So I understand the whole don't want to tank, don't want all this stuff, but you're talking about the best team.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that crazy because I'm sick and tired of the baseball. The baseball I grew up with, the old guy here, you win your division and you get rewarded. You know, there's the one seed to me is such a disadvantage. You go out and you win 105 games and then you got to play in this fucking series that.
Well, I agree. The best of 3, makes it absurd. But a best of 5, I think.
Yeah, if you won 105 games, you should win best of 3 or best of 5. I'd
Yeah,
say.
it should be best. You don't give a team a 1-0 lead. That's ridiculous. I think.
Yeah, I don't know that we don't give away wins.
No.
Here's your gold star.
I actually think I'm really coming around to this. The playoff expansion has hurt baseball significantly. I think the old way of 2 division winners per league, it's almost like the college football debate, where the regular season mattered.
Right.
And to me, I think it has watered down, and then you get these fluky things that happen. I just think going through a 162 game season should be rewarded, and it doesn't. It's not like it used to be.
I agree with you with your stance. However, we talk about meaningless games in mid to late August and September for teams that, under today's way, and maybe if they even expand it, would have something to play for and
Yeah.
in the ballpark. You're talking basically a whole month of the season where you've got nothing.
Right, and that's what they're trying to do,
Right.
is make more meaningful games when you
Exactly.
start to get into the dog days of
Right.
August.
Yeah. Look, they don't want people looking ahead to the NFL
Any more than they already do.
Right. I mean, come on. I mean, you had people, I believe the ratings are on NFL Network, who spent a good portion of their weekend, even on a beautiful days, watching the Combine. I watched a little bit of it this week. So that still run pretty well, and I saw
Yeah.
some of the others. Obviously, the story of the Combine was Georgia.
Oh my gosh.
And to me, it just proved why they were the best defense we've seen in a long time in college football.
Athletic ability and speed. I mean, just everywhere. And the Kobe Dean didn't even run.
Right.
But you know that watching him run sideline to sideline, he would have graded well, and it also is kind of irrelevant whether he ran or not.
True.
Which is why I hate the combine. Although, I will say this. If you missed any of it, and you're like me, like you don't want to watch the combine,
No.
please go and whether it's on YouTube, Google, search Jordan Davis and watch a 341-pound behemoth.
It's
run.
amazing that he got down to 341 too, because at the bowl game he was about 360, right?
Right. And so it shows you what, in a couple of months, what you can do as a highly
You play on the
trained
same
athlete.
diet you.
I lost 40 pounds.
I know.
I beat him. It's like, it was an Wolverine win.
Did you beat him in the 40
the fast
though?
guy to lose the most. No way! My God! 478! Go watch the man and then watch his drills. It was so much fun to watch this guy because it was smooth. It was like, for me, it was like watching Kyle Hamilton do some of his, the drills that they do for defensive backs. Watching Jordan Davis change directions at his size, it was a thing of beauty. It really was.
Was Jordan Davis more impressive or more important than Aiden Hutchinson's arm? Hey, bet on more than the final score with one-game parlay at BetMGM. One-game parlay allows you to make selections within a single game from over 400 bet types, including team and player props. Log on to your BetMGM account and create your best parlay before the game starts. New to BetMGM? Sign up and make your first bet risk-free up to $1,000 with bonus code STONY. Plus, you'll earn BetMGM rewards points that can be redeemed for online bonuses or converted to comps for rooms, restaurants, and more at over 20 MGM resorts nationwide. Try one-game parlay today. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Michigan only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire in 7 days from issuance. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Basements Plus. Prepare for a slowdown along 275 southbound around 7 Mile as construction blocks the left lanes from 6 Mile to North Line. There's also a lane shift, all scheduled until the end of the year. On the northbound side, there's a left lane closure between Eureka Road and 6 Mile. We've all witnessed what the changing weather has done to the roads. Well, it can do the same to your basement. If you notice water getting in through cracks, rod holes, or other areas, contact Basements Plus for all your basement needs. Visit basementsplus.com. That's basementsplus.com. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Necessary Roughness with former NFL lineman TJ Lang and John Jansen. Download it today on the Odyssey app.
This Homer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Only 31 days into his head coaching career, Urick Davis pulled off perhaps the greatest victory in North Carolina regular season history on Saturday. Davis's unranked Tar Heels stunned number 4 Duke 94-81 to spoil Mike Krzyzewski's home farewell. Today was unacceptable. Coach K apologized, adding, the season isn't over, thus turning the loss into another teachable moment. I'm Homer Esiason.
You're watching the game and that pizza comes back to haunt you with heartburn. You've got it under control with a few antacids until bedtime and the heartburn comes back. Does this happen to you? Instead of fighting your heartburn, block it with Prilosec OTC so you don't have to suffer through every game, day and night. Taking one Prilosec OTC pill in the morning can prevent excess acid production and block your heartburn all day and all night. Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
I need tech that leaves my hands free during my work day and my workout.
It's possible at Staples. I need tech for my home office that makes it easier to work from home. Also possible because your local Staples store has the innovative tech and tools you need to take on the future of work, all at great prices. And right now, Apple AirPods Pro are only $199, a savings of $50. Explore what's new right now at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 3/12, limit 2 while supplies last.
As a small business owner, your bottom line is always top of mind. So start saving by switching to Comcast Business Mobile. It's a mobile service designed for small business that can save you money with unlimited data for just $24 per line per month for 10 lines. Perfect for any small business looking to grow. Or you can pay by the gig. And with access to millions of Wi-Fi hotspots, you'll pay only for the data you need. No line fees, activation costs, or term contracts. You can save up to $500 a year on your wireless bill, all on the most reliable 5G network. And it's only available to Comcast Business Internet customers. So boost your business's bottom line with a more reliable, more affordable mobile service by switching to Comcast Business Mobile today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most RootMetrics 5G data reliability assessment wins in 2H 2021. Wi-Fi networks not tested. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But a realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
It's
time to say goodnight to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the lightning cause of your light for free, so you can drive with peace of mind. Restrictions apply.
Wednesday at 7, the Detroit Pistons face the Chicago Bulls at Little Caesars Arena. 97.1 The Ticket's Wojo and Rieger broadcast live starting at 6. Get your tickets for every home game at Pistons.com. Details at 971theticket.com. The station where your opinion matters. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
We have some ticket texts for you. I thought Hutchinson at 2 was a foregone conclusion. But 3 guys I think made a big splash in the combine: Jordan Davis, Trayvon Walker, and Malik Willis. All 3 would be a great fit for the Lions. Malik Willis, look, he had a very good combine. I ain't taking him too.
No.
Think about him, but he's not going to be there at 32. Now, as far as the other stuff, into this so many times now in the draft. What I believe what we saw on this weekend at the combine with some of the Georgia players on defense and some of the other defensive players, you mentioned Kyle Hamilton, there's a slew of really good ones, like 10 players, maybe even more, really good defensive players who at least you think can really be impactful players in the National Football League, including Hutchinson, including Thibodeau.
At the next light, turn right.
I think the Lions, it's so much easier said than done. I think they could somehow trade down, even as low as like 9 or 10, get a couple more, maybe second-round picks. They'd be happy with any of them, any of the defensive players.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the same conversation that everybody in the NFL is having as well. Why would we move up to 2 when we know we can get X?
Right. Unless some of the team, like I said, some team is enamored with one particular person.
Yes.
No matter who that is. On our baseball discussion, won't a pitch clock make it a lot easier to steal a base too? Runners can take off at 1 second.
Onto Northwestern Highway.
Game.
Or the pitchers can use that timing and, hey, at 1 second, I'm going to pull my foot off the mound. I mean, how many times are you allowed to go to first base? Is it unlimited? Is that how you reset the pitch clock?
Maybe. I don't know. That I don't know. Stoney's right. The focus needs to be on the batters more than the pitchers. The amount of time these guys take stepping out of the batter's box and goofing around is obscene. John and Lake.
Yeah.
So if the pitcher doesn't get the ball off in 14 seconds, what happens? That's the key on for this one. I assume that you would get a ball added to the count.
Yeah.
That's what I would assume. The pitch clock has been implemented at lower levels and works, and players adapted and games flowed faster. The argument against it is old guard mentality. It can work with younger players. We pointed this out in the low Western League. It slowed the game or sped the game up by almost 20 minutes. Back to the football deal, I completely admit it. I haven't broken down Jordan Davis film or looked at Georgia's scheme, but for a guy who's such an athletic freak, I would expect more production from him, even if he was a defensive tackle. Are there effort concerns with him?
Absolutely not. No. If you watch what he did all season long, he dominated offensive lines.
And don't you remember there was a time during the season where there was even like some talk of Jordan Davis being a Heisman Trophy candidate?
Yes. There was a lot of talk about that, and if you want to look then at whether it's Nakobe Dean, any of the group that was the Georgia linebackers, Channing Tindall, Quay Walker, they all had great seasons because they're really good players and they're fast as well. But they had really good to great seasons because of what happened in front of them.
Yeah. Now, we mentioned Hutchinson and the arm line, which is, and we talked about this the other day, John, where all the conversation was about Kenny Pickett's hand size, and you said it's no big deal, and what would concern you more is the defensive lineman's arm size doesn't reach.
Yeah, D lineman, O lineman.
Yes. So as expected, his arm line was not great.
Well,
should that be of any concern, considering his Rose grade and all that other stuff?
Oh, his short shuttle.
Oh, yeah.
His
athletic,
charge.
his athletic metrics. Yeah. I've seen a lot of this stuff more off
his arms were, in my estimation, 3 to 4 inches shorter than the average. Now you're talking about a big issue. At 1.5 inches, I'm not as concerned. Now, here's how it has to manifest itself. You've got to be able to see, and we saw this throughout the course of the year. Him being able to, do the one-arm bull rush. And we saw it against guys that he's going to be playing in at the next level. That was Ohio State's offensive tackle, Iowa's offensive tackle. He was successful against those guys. I'm not talking about a kid from Northwestern. I'm not talking about a kid from Indiana. Now, I'm not saying that. All right, I'm not trying to throw them all under the bus. But if you are able to do it against some of the top talent that you face during the season, then I'm not as concerned. That's why I'm a huge proponent of turn the film on and can a guy play. I am not a huge proponent of the measurables. And I've said this, I said it last year, I said it this year. I don't believe combine should be for the top 100 guys. And I'm just using that as a nice round number. Top 50 guys, whatever. It should be, you should include more of the guys on the bottom end than the top end, because you got great film on those guys on the top end. It's the bottom end where you do have film, which it's hard to discern the competition that they're going against. Do they look like world beaters because they're going against some terrible competition?
So you're talking about the smaller schools?
Yes. Smaller schools, and even if you're talking about some from the group of 5, but also in Sun Belt conferences like that.
Yeah, but there are players that into the starters.
Yeah.
He's definitely not probably in the top 100, right?
Yeah.
So combine will be great.
Yes.
But they have, it's not for the lack of
No, it's not for the lack of film. It's, he could have gone out there and showed it, maybe doesn't work. Or my change of direction. But again, he's not going to, I don't think there's going to be a huge bump in his draft stock because of what they're seeing at the combine.
I don't think that the combine will go away, even for the higher level guys, because it's turning into a big event for the National Football League. Let's talk about what's ever going to be maybe next year, possibly moving it to Jerry Jones wants it in Dallas big time. And when we start moving the combine and the draft,
Yeah. Well, and the NFL does a great job of making whatever it is that we think is innocuous one year, the next year it is a must-see TV.
Yeah.
And they're selling tickets like that. The tickets that they were selling for the combine, the pre-sold tickets were sold out. Like, I don't understand that. And if you've got if
You don't understand. There could be somebody, let's just say that there would be somebody who's John Jansen. There should be some lady, some John Jansen, Michigan.
Yeah.
This is my choice.
Hey, look,
that person exists.
people pay tickets, they watch the Olympics. This is called the Underworld Olympics.
Yeah.
I like why tickets to the Olympics. But my point is, it's not a very spectator event. Yet the NFL has found a way to make it as such.
They haven't. I expected them to make it.
One of the
They only
things,
saw a lot of tickets.
no, but one of the things I did like though, from a TV viewing experience, when like the running backs were doing a drill, they had the Deuce Staley drill, right? They have guys that did certain things. They put some of those drills in, and then they put the graphic on there, and so it looks like it's painted on the field. I thought that was really cool. So it kind of makes it much more current and relevant to those that are watching. Like if they did it and they said, well, this is Jim Brown
Stay
drill.
in the left 2 lanes.
All right, a lot of today's 18, 19-year-olds are going to look at that and go, I would rather see I wouldn't go as far back as Barry Sanders. Maybe the Barry Sanders drill, where you just nobody can touch you.
Our telephone number is 248-539-9797.
athletic. When I look at his measurables and how he plays, you're looking at probably a bigger, more athletic than Cam Hayward. This guy can shut down the middle of the defense. He can move him around. He's not just a nose tackle. He can play defensive tackle. He can suffocate the middle of that defense. He's not going to be a back grabber, but he can force the other team into a run-pass situation because he'll make running the ball a nightmare.
And he gets to the passer enough to have the second pick of the draft.
That's really have an impact, Victor, like an Aaron Donald.
And that's where I want to avoid to be like an Aaron Donald.
Or should
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's more of an athletic Cam Hayward. Would you not want to have a Cam Hayward on your team?
Absolutely.
Yeah. The run.
Yeah.
Not sexy. He's not going to grab all those stats, but he's going to make you. He's going to make you have to abandon the run because you just can't do it. And now you're forcing the other team as a one-dimensional offense, and that helps out your defense immensely. It's not sexy on the stat sheet, but it's so important.
The question. Thanks for the call, Victor. The question they have to figure out, and it's not easy because the guy they drafted in the second round last year had a very uneven first year. Onwuzurike.
Yeah.
So you have him and McNeil in the middle right now with Tennessee or whoever. Would you rather? I'm not even looking at free agents. Have like somebody like Jordan Davis at that position, and then you got Aquaria and maybe resign Charles Harris, and you're take an edge player later.
Yeah.
Are you that? Here's the deal. They have to be that sure that Hutch or Thibodeau, whichever one they decide, is going to be a game changer. If they don't think either one is, then I would not be opposed to Jordan Davis, although most of the times you don't take tackles with the second pick of the draft.
No.
Now, when I mentioned Sue, when he came out, the guy, I believe, selected either right after him or a couple afterwards was a defensive tackle as well, McCoy, right?
Yes.
And he had a really good career for Tampa.
Yes. Good long career.
Really, he was a terrific player.
Yep.
You tell me that Jordan Davis is going to be as good as Gerald McCoy, I'd take him in a second.
I think the wild card is going to be simply what does Jacksonville do?
Well, that's the other deal, Stu, okay? Peter King, in today's Monday Morning Quarterback column, believes that Hutchinson's going to go one.
So if he does,
Turn right onto
okay,
Fullerton
so
Street.
let's just set this up right now, because if Hutch ends up going one overall to the Jacksonville Jaguars, then you start thinking about, okay, Jordan Davis, the career he had at Georgia speaks for itself.
Correct.
Now he comes to the combine and he just blows it out of the water. He's 341 pounds. He runs fast. He's a great athlete. And then you put that on top of maybe Kayvon Thibodeau isn't of the right mindset for a Dan Campbell coach team, or for the Detroit Lions, or for a handful of teams that are selecting in the top 5.
It was a long day.
Because it was simply a long day for the young man.
Right. He didn't participate in all the drills.
Right. Yeah. And his reason, like, if you're going to come out and say then go the injured route where, hey, I have a back cramp, or I have something with my back, or my hamstring, something that's not provable other than it's a long day, so I'm going to stop now.
Because he ran and he lifted pretty well, right?
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, but then he pulled out.
Yeah, sounds like he's being honest. John doesn't like the combine. Maybe he doesn't like it either. Hey, turn on my game film.
Yes, but if asked to perform, you perform.
I think, John, what you said about his mindset and his mental approach, and there's been questioning. Sorry about that. I had to clear my throat. Of his, passion for the game.
Yeah.
There's a narrative out there about him, and he actually talked about that to a degree, even a little bit, and just said, I actually think if there's a situation, I do think there needs to be a little bit of a change in his mindset. That actually Dan Campbell and the presence of Penei Sewell could actually get the most out of him.
Right.
That's possible, yeah.
The situationally.
Yeah, but do you want to gamble with that number 2 spot and say, well, because we have this set of circumstances, we can probably get the most out of him? Because I agree with Levi Onwuzurike. Did we get the most out of him?
There's way too much that we don't know yet, okay, with him.
Yeah, but he wasn't an every down guy. An effort.
Yeah, but
I'm talking about effort.
back to what Stoney said though about to me this morning. I actually felt coming in a little bit different about this than I did once I saw what Peter King wrote. Peter King basically definitively said that Aiden Hutchinson's the best player in this draft. I wasn't expecting to see that this morning.
No.
I don't think he puts that out there unless that's the takeaway. So now it comes down to what the Jags do. Do the Jags have trade collateral here? Do the Texans want to hop up? You know, will the Giants hop up? And because the Jaguars can still go with offensive line.
Do the Lions want to trade?
I mean, you never know.
I know.
Because what the Bears did a few years ago with Trubisky. I mean, my God, think about that in hindsight. Hopping up to 2, trading 2 and 3 to take Mitch Trubisky. So, but I do think that's my takeaway from that. Peter King, I respect the hell out of him, man. I don't think he puts that out there unless it's legit. And I wasn't expecting to see that because I thought there was, 2 narratives going on with Hutchinson from this weekend, the arm length, but then he tested well in other things and stuff. So, I don't know. I mean, my gut feeling is that the Lions should look to trade down.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. Yes. I said that earlier. I don't know what they'll be able to get for it, to trade down, and how far they'd have to drop to get something significant. Now, the other thing with Jordan Davis and Thibodeau, the thing about Thibodeau, and yes, the narrative's out there, he has been compared to Sue, not so much playing-wise, but mind-wise.